Give us a sense of where you're going. Let's start with aerospace, which is the one that you look like you're going to be sticking with at least for a while. Aerospace seems to be hitting on all cylinders, if you use cylinders anymore in aircraft engines. but you're doing well. How big can that get?
Well, David, we couldn't be in a better position with respect to the post-pandemic recovery in aerospace. You've seen the performance thus far this year. We're really on a record pace. Given both the return to flight, really around the world now, as people get out and see places they haven't been to, and at the same time they're looking to modernize and expand their fleets. So we have tremendous backlogs with our major airframers, Boeing, Airbus, for example. The supply chain challenges are significant, and right alongside everything we're doing on the commercial side, we've seen a really strong uptick in our defense business, as one would imagine, both with fixed wing and rotary. So in terms of how big this business can be, we're, I think, on a path where we could be growing in the mid-single digit, high single digit range for some time. That would put us well north of $40 billion in but a few years. Lot of opportunity. We have, I think, an enviable position in propulsion. But again, it's not about how big we get, it's about how strong we are. And are we serving our customers? Are we taking care of our team? Are we doing well by way of our shareholders?
As you say, Larry, you're not going to get ahead of the board of GE Aerospace when you get to wise not to do that. What's on the table at this point? You've spent your 5 years really redoing the balance sheet, really fixing the cash flow situation, retiring a lot of debt. Capital allocation maybe hasn't been so much of an issue because you're just trying to retire that debt. Going forward, you may well have some capital to work with. So what are the possibilities, both in terms of acquisition but also sale, potentially?
Well, I think that we want to be wise stewards of that capital, right? I've long believed that investors give you a license to reinvest in your business, and you need to be careful with that license lest it gets pulled. But I think what we've tried to do is set up all three of the businesses to be in a position where they are well capitalized, investment grade, and will have the opportunities to think through not only their organic options, be it M&A, small, mid-size, probably not something large and headline-breaking. But at the same time, how do we think about buybacks? How do we think about dividends? So I think you'll see each of the three companies, once we spin GE Vernova sometime early next year, be in a position where they'll have tailored, balanced capital allocation policies that will be in effect. I'm confident all three boards will carry forward that responsibility well.
You mentioned Vernova. Let's turn to power.
Sure.
Renewables have been a challenge for just about everybody at this point, including for GE, although you think you're going to get toward profitability here before the spinoff, as I understand it.
Yes.
What are the challenges? What is the potential for profitability out of that renewables business?
Well, we've made a lot of progress, David, in our GE power businesses the last several years. That's really been, I think, ground zero with respect to the improvements that we have made in Vernova and GE at large. And we're really running the power playbook in our renewables businesses, principally in onshore wind, which is, I think, the battleground today. We think that can be a high single-digit operating margin business in time. Everything that we've talked about over the last 4 quarters in terms of the nature of that turnaround has really played out, both in terms of our field performance, our cost reduction efforts, and just the day-to-day rhythms in the business. I was with them just a couple of weeks ago, and I'm really encouraged by what we're seeing. The Inflation Reduction Act has driven a lot of demand, not only in our onshore and our offshore wind businesses, but also in our grid automation businesses.